with all the news from WTCN TV's expanded news gathering facility.
WTCN TV, Channel 11.
This is KARE 11 News at 10.
Bob Schumacher has a dream job. All summer long, he boards the historic Como Harriet streetcars on the shores of Lake Harriet in Minneapolis. But Bob isn't some tourist. He's a motorman. The controls of these nostalgic machines from a not very politically correct era of Twin Cities transportation were for men only. Until, of course, they ran out of men.
Well, my sister and I wanted a job because the men were all gone, and I didn't go to bear giants and things.
Helen Zarembo and her sister Bonnie Rudine were in their 20s during World War II. With most young men in Europe and the Pacific, the Twin Cities Rail Transit Company broke its taboo on women, hiring hundreds of so-called motorettes and conductorettes.
464 is the count that I have. And there were up to about 180 of them at one time, and that was 1943, 44, and 45 that they were hired.
In the case of Helen and Bonnie, there was one little problem.
Neither one of us could drive a car. Never have driven, neither one. So I said, So they said they'd teach us, it wouldn't be bad, and it was fun.
Well, I felt like we were kind of doing something unusual at the time, and my mother was thrilled. She thought it was great.
I met people coming from, getting on at the railroad station, coming home to see their family, the Navy men, and they get on the streetcar and they'd say, I don't believe it.
But this touch of women's liberation only lasted during wartime.
They called it motor man because there were only men who did it, and these are the first women who were ever hired. And after they left, no other women were hired to either run trolley or drive bus until the 1970s.
It has been almost 50 years since Helen took her place at the front of the car.
Fun. I wish one of my kids were here. One of my little ones could watch it. They'd get a big bang out of this. Okay, where do you want to go?
9 presidents have come and gone since she rang the bell and released the air brake. 5 decades since Bonnie funneled the tokens into their place and herded smokers onto the rear platform.
No smoking. Nope, out here, blizzard and all, out here. And then some of our gates were made of strong metal. They were open. This whole end would be all open back here. It would not be covered with windows at all.
The metal plates on the post saved the wood from striking matches. Helen remembers kicking aside the metal floor plate and dropping the iron rod that allowed motor persons to switch tracks without leaving the car.
Turn the track. I'm going left, so I have to turn the track so the track turns left.
Bonnie remembers the day the rope holding the trolley pole to the overhead power wire snapped, and she had a cold trip on the roof of the streetcar holding the pole to the wire. Helen says it was all fun, even the day she was robbed.
All I remember was, I don't have any money, how am I going to pay this back? But I didn't have to pay it back.
We could talk to Helen all day, but we really can't, see, because there's a sign and it says, please do not engage the operator in unnecessary conversation.
Please don't talk to me. I used to say, please don't talk to me.
50 years ago this month, the first motorettes and conductorettes were hired. After seeing the movie A League of Their Own about a reunion of professional women baseball players, the MTC's Aaron Isaacs thought that's what the Twin Cities Women of the Rails needed, and they will have it. In September, those women are invited to return and grasp the controls once more in a tribute to them and an almost forgotten time in Minnesota transit history.
It was a good job, and I'd do it again. If you want to hire me, I'll go back. I would.
Alan Costantini, KARE 11 News, Minneapolis.